My beloved child, something is beginning to open right now. Not later. Not after the season changes. Not after the people around you finally understand. Not after everything in your life starts looking more hopeful. Right here, in this very moment, something is moving in the unseen parts of your life. And what is coming has been prepared for you long before you ever reached this day. I want you to truly receive that. This was made ready for you. I have been watching over you, never from far away. I do not stay at a distance. I have remained close, beside you, present in every place where you knelt alone with no one else around. I was there every time you spoke to me openly, never realizing how precious each conversation was to me. I have been present in every quiet pause between your words, in those moments when your prayer became only a sigh, only a breath, only your heart quietly reaching toward me. That was enough. Every breath found its way to me. You have spent more strength carrying others than you have ever spent caring for yourself. I know that. I have watched you lift the names of those you love before me again and again, carrying them like a burden that never leaves your hands. Your family, your friends, the ones whose health keeps you awake through the night, the ones who have grown distant, leaving a weight inside your heart that you cannot seem to put down. I have seen you kneel in silent rooms while the rest of the world slept. I have heard every prayer you whispered after midnight, during those dark hours when you wondered if anything was changing at all. It was changing. Every prayer you spoke reached me. None of it waited outside my presence. None of it was placed somewhere beyond my reach. I received every word completely, fully, and without delay. I heard every prayer. I know every name you continue to carry. I see every situation that has followed you into this moment. Every single detail is known to me. And I have not been inactive. Let me speak to you clearly because you deserve a message that leaves no room for confusion. What has remained locked is now opening. What looked sealed forever. What felt like solid walls that your prayers could never move. I am moving them. Not because you finally discovered the perfect words, or prayed in exactly the right way, but because the time I appointed before you entered this world has now arrived. I am stepping into the places that seemed forever closed, and I am working there with authority that your eyes cannot yet recognize. I move before the evidence appears. I go ahead of you before you ever see what is waiting. That son or daughter who wandered far from where you hoped they would be. That relationship that slowly became distant and stayed that way no matter what you tried. That opportunity that closed years ago and never seemed to open again. The one you continued placing before me, even when nothing appeared to change. I see every one of those situations. I have kept every name, every sorrow, every prayer that rose quietly from your heart. Not one word was forgotten. Not one prayer was wasted. I received them all, and now my answer has come. Not an uncertain answer. Not another promise hidden behind silence. A complete answer released from my throne into every situation you have been carrying. Where there has been distance, closeness is coming. Where hearts became cold, warmth is returning. Where relationships hardened until they seemed beyond repair, I am breathing into them because my breath softens what no human effort has been able to soften. My spirit reaches places your voice never could. It enters hearts that stayed closed to you. It moves through barriers that your greatest efforts and kindest words could never pass. I am already present in the life of the person you have prayed for the longest. I am already working in the situation that looked permanently closed. I am already moving inside the relationship that seemed impossible. My answer began before you finished asking. And what I have started cannot be reversed. I want you to understand what is happening beneath everything your eyes can see. Your circumstances are telling one story, but I am writing another. And my story has never failed. I have never walked away from something I chose to complete. I always finish what I begin, not because I might, but because that is who I am. I am the God who never leaves my work unfinished. What I began in your life and in the lives of those you love is coming into view now. You prayed. I listened. Now I am moving in ways that will become visible sooner than you think. The prayers you lifted for your family are alive. They are active even now. They are moving through the unseen places. They are touching hearts you could never reach. They are entering places that remained closed to you because I can reach anyone, anywhere, through every barrier and at every moment. Do not keep carrying this as though everything depends on you. It never has. I am already in the middle of every part of it. I go ahead of you into the situations that seem impossible. I work inside the details you cannot control and the hearts you cannot change. My love reaches beyond every wall that looked permanent. I was already in those situations before you ever prayed about them. I was already working in those lives before you even spoke their names. This message is for you today. Not a general word spoken to everyone. It is a personal decree over your life, your family, and every burden you have quietly carried. I am not delayed. I am not far away. I am here, and the appointed time has arrived. Declare your amen. If this message is speaking to your heart today, I know there is something deep inside you that still longs, not only for what you need today, but for what once was. You remember the days when life felt easier, when those you loved stayed close, when the family gathered with warmth, when conversations were filled with joy, when peace rested in your home like the morning sun filling every corner. Now that season feels far behind you. Sometimes in the quiet you reach back toward those memories like something you almost remember perfectly, but cannot quite hold on to. Today I want to speak to that place inside you. I am the God who restores, not one who simply repairs what was broken and leaves it there, not one who patches things together and calls the work complete. I restore. That means what I return to you will be greater than what existed before. The closeness I am bringing into your family will be stronger than it once was. The peace I am establishing in your home will be deeper than the peace you remember. The warmth I am returning to relationships that became cold will carry a richness they never had before. The season you keep remembering is not the highest point of what I have prepared for you. It is only the beginning. What is ahead will be far greater. I want you to hold on to this, not as a comforting idea spoken in a difficult moment, but as a true promise I am speaking directly into your life today. What is waiting for you is not a weaker copy of what you once knew. I do not create lesser things. I do not settle for less or leave my work unfinished. When I restore, I do it with such fullness and depth that what came before becomes only the beginning. The greatest things I have prepared for you and for those you love are still ahead. You have not reached them yet. Nothing you face behind you has taken away what I have prepared before you. Now let me tell you something about every prayer you have ever offered. Not only the prayers spoken inside a church. Not only the ones spoken with perfect words. Every one of them. The calm prayers and the desperate ones. The certain prayers and the uncertain ones. The prayers spoken clearly and the ones that barely escaped your lips. I heard every one. I heard the prayers you whispered in the middle of the night when your home was silent and your burden felt its heaviest. I heard every conversation you had with me while driving from place to place, speaking honestly about your fears, your needs, and the people you loved so deeply. Those were true prayers. I treasured every one of them. I heard the prayers that came through tears instead of words. The kind of tears that made no sound, yet spoke more loudly to me than any voice ever could. I heard every long, quiet sigh that carried everything you could not find the words to say. I heard the moments of silence that became their own prayer, when you were too tired to speak but your heart still turned toward me. I heard every one of them, and I want you to know something important. I have been answering. Not always the way you expected. Not always where you were looking. But I have been working inside the heart of the person you prayed for. Inside the situation that looked as though it was getting worse. Inside the hidden places beneath circumstances that appeared unchanged from where you stood. Nothing you entrusted to me has been wasted. Not one prayer, not one tear, not one moment you chose faith when faith cost you something real, not one act of trust that seemed to produce no visible result. I have kept every one. Every part has a purpose. Every part is being used. I use it all, even the prayers that seemed unanswered. I was working between the asking and the answer, putting unseen things into place, moving hearts you could never move, arranging every part of the answer so that when it arrived, it would be complete instead of partial. I am not a God who gives incomplete answers. When I answer fully. Now I want to tell you something about what I am doing right now. I am the one who orders every detail. I am the one who brings everything together. Relationships are being prepared even now that will become part of the answer you have waited for. Doors are being set in place that will open at the exact right time. People are being guided toward your life who will carry part of what I have prepared for you. You do not know them yet, but they are coming. My hands are working in every detail of your life in ways that would amaze you. I am correcting what was misplaced, restoring what was absent, and increasing what you sowed in faith during those seasons when faith was all you had left. Get ready, not for something ordinary. Get ready for something that will cause those who know you to say, "Only God could have done this." Prepare yourself for an answer greater than the question you asked. Prepare yourself for a restoration that gives back more than what was lost. I will give you things you never even knew to ask for, because I know your needs better than you do. I see everything you have been carrying. Every name, every situation, every burden that settled deep inside you while you remained faithful through seasons that showed no visible results. I see it all, and I am working in every part of it at the same time. I am present wherever I need to be. I am already inside every situation you placed before me, and I am moving now. Watch carefully for what is coming. The evidence is already on its way. Right now I am placing something new within you. Not something borrowed. Not something temporary that lasts only for this difficult season and then disappears. Something new. A fresh anointing is settling over your life even now. I am equipping you for the season that stands directly ahead. I am giving you wisdom. Not only the wisdom that grows through years of experience, though experience has value. I am giving you wisdom that sees beyond what your eyes can see. A clarity that helps you recognize my work before others notice it. A knowing that shows you the next step before the path becomes clear. A quiet certainty inside your spirit before your mind fully understands. I am giving you courage. Not the kind you must create by convincing yourself again and again, until the fear becomes small enough to move. The courage I place inside you rises from within, because my spirit lives there. The things that once caused you to hesitate will no longer rule you. The voices that kept telling you that you were not enough, that your hopes were too great, or that closed doors meant you should stop asking, are losing their power. I am replacing fearfulness with something steady and strong, something that does not pull back when circumstances become difficult. I am giving you strength. Not the strength that comes from exhausting yourself until nothing remains. The strength I give is not your own. It flows from me into you. It rises when yours is gone. It remains long after your natural strength would have failed. This is the strength that allows you to keep moving forward. Not because you discovered it inside yourself, but because you remain connected to the source that never runs dry. There is a word I want to place inside your heart today. It comes from the book of Habakkuk. It says, "The Lord God is my strength. He will make my feet like the feet of a deer, and he will let me walk on high places." This is not only a beautiful verse. It is a promise for your own life. Right now I am leading you to higher ground, to a place where your view begins to change, where the valley that once looked impossible becomes something already behind you. The climb may seem difficult today, but I am the one making your steps secure. I am not sending you ahead while staying behind. I am walking beside you, guiding every step, and giving your feet the strength they need. And when you reach that place, you will understand why the road looked the way it did. Nothing I led you through was without purpose. Every hard place prepared you for where you are going. Every narrow path shaped something inside you that an easy road never could have formed. But there is something more I want you to know, because it reveals my heart toward you in a way that reaches beyond provision and beyond power. I delight in you. There is a promise written in the book of Zephaniah that speaks about me. The Lord your God is with you. He is mighty to save. He rejoices over you with gladness. He quiets you with his love. He sings over you with great joy. Pause and let that settle inside you. I am not simply putting up with you. I am not only managing your circumstances or waiting until you finally get everything right. I take joy in you. I sing over you. Not because you have never made mistakes. Not because your faith has always been perfect. Not because you finally reached a place where you earn my delight. I rejoice over you because you belong to me. And I love you with a love that asks nothing from you before it begins. You are not a burden I have to carry. You are my child, and I delight in you. Even while you walk through unanswered prayers, long waiting, and situations that still seem unfinished, I am singing over you. My joy over your life is not waiting for better days. It is here now. It has always been here. And today I want you to experience it, not only understand it. I want you to feel it the way you feel warmth surrounding you. When you enter a place where a fire is burning, that warmth surrounds you. I am that warmth, and I am with you. Now I want to tell you what is happening over your life in this season, because it matters for what is about to come. The heavens are opening, not only as a symbol, but in a real and active spiritual way. What I am pouring into your life is not a small stream. It is like rain. A rain of favor that opens doors no one can naturally explain. People will come into your life with no ordinary reason for being there. Provision will arrive through paths you never planned and could never have imagined. It is a rain of miracles. Not vague hopes, but clear answers to the very prayers you have carried for so long. It is a season of opportunity. Doors opening that you could never have forced open yourself. Moments that, when you look back, will clearly show my hand at work. This rain is coming to you. It has already begun. To receive it completely, open your heart fully. Do not hold part of it back, while trying to protect yourself. I know the wounds from your past that taught you to stay guarded. I know the disappointments that convinced you not to expect too much. But today I ask you to let my love reach beyond those protected places. Let what I am pouring into your life reach even the parts of your heart that learned to expect disappointment. Where my love enters, everything begins to change. Declare your faith today. If this message is speaking to your spirit, understand this. The miracle I am releasing into your life is not only for you. I want you to see that clearly. What I am doing is not a small change around the edges of your life. What I am releasing will flow through you and reach beyond you. It will touch the people you love, the ones whose names you have carried before me, the family that has been connected to your journey even when they did not realize it. My blessings do not stop with one person. They overflow. Now picture something with me. Not as a passing thought, but as something you truly allow yourself to see. Picture your loved ones gathered together again. Not because they feel obligated, not with distance still between them, but truly together. The warmth restored, the comfort returned, the laughter that once filled your home filling it again. Picture the face of the person you have prayed for more than anyone else. The one whose distance has caused you the deepest pain. See that face turned back toward you with kindness and softness once again. Picture relationships that once seemed beyond repair becoming strong again. Stronger than before because I rebuilt them myself. I am the one building this, not you. I am restoring what once looked impossible. I am the God who brings reconciliation. The relationship that looked too broken to heal. I am the one who heals what human effort could never reach. the warmth that disappeared from what should have been filled with love. I am the one who brings that warmth back, where coldness settled in. Nothing I choose to restore remains broken forever. Nothing placed in my hand stays lost unless I allow it. And I have not allowed these things to remain this way. I am working in them even now. The miracle I am sending is not only something you will quietly experience inside your own life. It is something others will see as well. The people who love you will witness what I do. It will become a testimony, not only of what I have done for you, but of what I gladly do for those who place the deepest parts of their lives into my hands. Now I want to speak to you about something even deeper. I am asking you to trust me. Not halfway. Not by giving me only part of your concerns while holding the rest tightly in case disappointment returns. I am asking for the kind of trust that says, whatever you choose, I will rest in it. Whatever timing you have appointed, I accept it. However you answer, I believe it will be right. This is a deeper faith than the kind that trusts only after everything works out. This is the faith that says, I do not fully understand what you are doing, but I know who you are, and that is enough. Let me remind you who I am, not simply as words to remember, but as truth you can stand on. I am your provider. Not one possibility among many, but your provider. I am the one who placed food on your table through every season of your life. I am the one who has carried your health to this very day. I am the one who protected you in countless ways you never even noticed because caring for you is part of who I am. The silver and the gold belong to me. Every resource belongs to me. And I have never refused you what you truly needed. I chose you before you were born. I did not choose you because of what you would achieve. I did not choose you because your faith would always be strong. I did not choose you because of anything you would accomplish or fail to accomplish. I chose you before any of those things existed. I placed my calling on your life before your first breath. That calling has never expired. It has never grown weaker because of what you have experienced. It remains, and I am leading you deeper into it now. Now I want to speak about a particular step of faith, because trust that is never expressed remains only an idea. Every journey of faith reaches a moment when trust must be shown in a real and visible way. Not always in a comfortable way, but in a way that truly matters. The widow at Zarephath understood this truth. She reached the point of having almost nothing left, only enough oil and flour for one last meal. Yet when the prophet stood before her, she did not cling to the little she still had. She chose to give first. She honored the word I sent before there was any visible sign that a miracle was on its way. Then the jar never became empty. The flour never failed. My provision continued day after day, because she obeyed me even while living in scarcity. The obedience you choose today becomes the doorway through which tomorrow's miracle enters. If my voice is touching your heart in this moment, if you sense I am inviting you to place something into my hands as an act of true trust, do not ignore that invitation. Plant your seed today as a living expression of faith. Lay what you have before me because you believe, not because you feel forced, but because you know I am who I have declared myself to be, and because you believe every promise I have spoken over your life. Whatever you place into my hands through faith, I will increase. Whatever you entrust to me, I will honor. This is not an exchange. It is your declaration that you believe I can do far beyond anything you have asked or imagined. I gladly receive what you bring, and I remain faithful to answer. There came a night when my disciples were surrounded by a violent storm. The waves crashed against them. The wind fought against them. The boat filled with water, and every effort they made could not calm the sea. They struggled for hours. They used every bit of strength they had, yet the storm only continued. Then I came to them across the water and spoke to the storm, "Be still." At once the wind ceased. Complete calm followed. Today I speak those same words over your life. To the trouble that has been growing, to the anxiety that keeps becoming louder, to the fear that feeds on every uncertainty before you, to the storm that keeps telling you peace will never come. I speak to it now with the same authority that quieted the sea. I do not argue with it. I do not debate it. I command it to stop. And it must obey because I am the one who fixed the limits of the sea. I am the one who told the waters where they must end. Everything I created answers to my voice, including every storm that has risen in your life. I know the storms you are facing. The concern over health, yours or someone close to you. The financial pressure that makes each day feel heavier than it should. The strain inside relationships that has lasted far longer than you expected. The uncertainty about what tomorrow holds. I see every part of it. And I stand beside you in the middle of it saying, be still. Come to me. I desire to give you something this world can never offer. Something circumstances cannot create. Something that does not depend on favorable outcomes. I want to give you rest. Not the kind that comes only after every problem disappears, because that kind lasts only as long as circumstances stay pleasant, and circumstances always change. I offer you rest that comes directly from me. The kind that remains even while the storm is still around you, before everything has been resolved. This is why I said, come to me, all who are weary and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Not someday. Right now. Every burden you have been holding, every weight you should have brought to me long ago, but continued carrying by yourself, lay it down now. The fear over someone's health. The concern about the future of those you love. The financial pressure that follows you everywhere. The heavy concern you carry for people who still have not found their way. Bring every one of them. I am not asking you to stop loving them. I am asking you to stop carrying what I am completely able to carry myself. There is a difference between caring for someone and trying to carry the full weight of their life by yourself. Release the weight. I will carry it. It does not overwhelm me. I am never uncertain about what must be done. I know exactly what every situation requires. And when you place those burdens into my hands, I place my peace into yours. Not peace that depends on everything working out first. Not peace that only comes after the report is good, after the phone finally rings, after circumstances finally change. I give you a peace that remains even while things are still unresolved. A peace that cannot be explained by what surrounds you, because it is not born from circumstances. It comes from me. It flows through you like a quiet river, deep, steady, gentle, moving into every place where worry has tightened your heart and filling those places with stillness. That peace is being poured over you right now. Let it reach every place where tension has been living. Now see your life as a field. For a long time you have continued sowing in every season. During hopeful days and during days when sowing became nothing more than an act of faithful obedience with no visible results. You have sown. You have planted prayers. You have planted faith. You have spoken words of belief, even while circumstances argued against everything you declared. You have planted acts of trust, when trusting carried a real cost. You have planted through tears, through darkness, through silence. I watched every seed enter the ground. I have remembered every single one. And now I am sending the rain. Not a light shower that only touches the surface. A true rain. The kind that reaches deep into the soil, fills it completely, and causes every seed to grow in a way no one can ignore or explain away. The harvest ahead will not simply be enough. It will be overflowing. The kind that reaches beyond your own life into the lives of those around you. The kind everyone who has been watching will be able to see. What has been planted is about to become impossible to deny. Those who watched you continue planting while nothing seemed to happen will witness the harvest. Those who questioned why you kept praying when nothing appeared to change will finally see the fruit. And when they ask what happened, you will already know. Because I never leave my work unfinished. Whatever I begin, I complete. Whatever I promise, I bring to fulfillment. I am not the God who plants a field and then walks away from it. I am the God who waters it, cares for it, and brings it into everything I intended from the beginning. Receive this word today as your own. Let it settle into the places where waiting has been the hardest, and declare your faith. Say it aloud, because words spoken with faith carry weight in the unseen realm. I believe the season of harvest has arrived for my life. There are things growing in your life that did not come from me. Not everything that has taken root in your story was planted by my hand. Some of what has grown in your life did not come from me. The enemy planted it. False ideas about your identity found a place during weak moments and slowly became strongholds. Ways of thinking kept repeating until they held you in the same place year after year. Other things grew from painful seasons. Disappointments taught you to expect less. Loss convinced you that opening your heart was risky. Betrayal quietly created distance between you and the trust I have been inviting you back into. I am the gardener. I know exactly what I planted, and I know exactly what I did not. In this season, I am doing a work that may first feel like losing something before you recognize it as freedom. I am removing what does not belong. What I take away is not punishment. It is careful work. I am preparing the ground, so what I plant next will grow without being crowded by the things that have been stealing your attention, your strength, and the light I wanted to fill your life with. Do not mourn what I am taking away. What I have prepared to replace it is far better than what is leaving. Now I want to place a promise from my word deep within your heart today. Receive it as something personal, spoken directly into your life at this very moment. In the book of Isaiah I declared, I will go before you and level the high places. I will break the gates of bronze and cut through the bars of iron. I will give you treasures hidden in darkness and riches stored in secret places, so you will know that I am the Lord who calls you by your name. Take this promise one part at a time, because every part matters. Even now I am already ahead of you, in the places you have not reached yet. I am there before you arrive. I have already entered every room before your feet step inside. I already know what is waiting before you ever face it. I am bringing down the things that stood too high. The obstacles that looked impossible and seemed to block your future are not permanent. I reach them first, and I deal with them. Those bronze gates, those barriers that appeared too strong to ever move, I am breaking them now. What no human effort could overcome gives way before my authority. Nothing remains locked when I choose to open it. No door stays shut before me. Now think about the treasures hidden in secret places. Pause here for a moment. What I am bringing into your life is more than restoring what you lost. I am revealing what has always belonged to you, but remained hidden until this season arrived. Things prepared for you long ago that could not have come sooner. Resources you never knew existed. Relationships carrying exactly what you will need for the road ahead. Wisdom that opens what years of human effort could never unlock. Opportunities placed along your path that, when you look back, will clearly show they could only have come from my hand. They are beginning to appear now. Every part of it is meant to help you know. Not simply believe in a distant way, but truly know. To know by experience what you once held only through faith. To know that I am the Lord. That I call you by name. That I work personally for you. Not as one person among many, but as the one I loved before the world began. Now let me speak to you about coming close to me. I am not hard to find. I do not wait for you to become perfect or free from every question before you approach me. Come exactly as you are, exactly where you are, carrying whatever is in your hands. And this is my promise. When you draw close to me, I draw close to you. When you take one step toward me, I come toward you in a way that makes that first step become the beginning of everything your heart has been searching for. Do not let ordinary days steal away the quiet moments we could share. The place where I speak most clearly is not far away. It is nearer than you think. Now let me tell you about the small signs. Remember my servant Elijah. He prayed, yet the sky still showed no answer. Nothing visible appeared that matched what he believed I would do. He sent his servant to look toward the sky. 6 times the servant returned with nothing. The seventh time he came back saying, "I see a cloud no bigger than a man's hand." That was enough for Elijah. He announced that heavy rain was coming. Soon the sky became dark, the wind increased, and great rain covered the land. So what is the small sign in your own life today? What seems so little that you almost overlook it? What have you walked past because it appeared unimportant? I am asking you to look once more. What appears small to human eyes may be the first sign of something far greater. That little cloud was never the finish. It was only the beginning. Do not ignore small beginnings. Do not dismiss what appears insignificant, because what follows that first small sign will one day cover the whole sky. The repeating cycles in your life, the same painful patterns, the seasons of lack that kept returning, the frustrations that seemed impossible to escape, today I declare them finished. Not weakened. Not delayed. Broken. The cycle stops here. A new chapter begins today, and the old patterns do not enter it. Something truly new has started. I also want to remind you of something my servant Paul wrote while living through hardship, at a time when nothing around him seemed to support what he declared. This is what he wrote. I am confident of this very thing, that he who began a good work in you will carry it through to completion. I began a good work within you, not a small work, not something I abandoned when life became difficult, not something that ended because you stumbled or depended on perfect performance. It is a good work, chosen with purpose, planned with intention, and I have committed myself to finishing it. This tells you something important about your story. It means your story has not reached its end. It means the chapter that looked like the finish was only a transition, leading into the completion I planned from the beginning. It means every difficult season was never outside your story. It was always part of it. Everything I started in you is still moving, even when everything around you seems still. Let this become your foundation. Not hope built on present circumstances. Not confidence that depends upon the next piece of good news. Let your confidence rest on who I am and what I have spoken. I always finish what I begin. Every promise I have made remains true. I never begin a work only to leave it unfinished. That foundation cannot be shaken by changing circumstances, because it was never built on circumstances. It rests upon my character, and my character never changes. Now I want to tell you what I do with broken things. I am the one who takes what has been shattered and makes it beautiful. Not simply repaired enough to hide the cracks, but truly and completely beautiful. The broken places in your life, the seasons that left deep scars, the decisions that brought sorrow, the things done to you that you wish had never happened. I am not asking you to act as though those things never existed. I am asking you to watch what I create from them. I bring beauty out of ashes. This is not only a promise. It is the work I am doing in your life right now. The things that burned, the things that collapsed, the places left in ruins, I am standing in those ruins building something new. And what I build from those broken places is stronger than what stood there before, because I build it with what the fire could never destroy. Nothing placed in my hands is ever wasted. Not one prayer that seemed unheard. Not one season where your faithfulness appeared to produce nothing. Not one tear shed in secret. Not one moment when you chose trust, while everything around you argued against it. I have kept every one of them. I am using every one of them. They are all becoming part of the work I am completing in your life. And when that work is finished, it will be clear for everyone to see that every part belonged in the design. I know every detail about you. I saw the prayer you thought was too small to mention. I received it. I saw the hope you were almost afraid to speak because hoping again felt too risky. I heard it. I know the need you have never spoken to another person. The one hidden deep inside your heart, where you hardly allowed yourself to desire it, because wanting it again meant facing possible disappointment. I have always seen it. Nothing escapes my attention. Nothing is beyond my power. I am not a God who only handles the great matters while leaving the small ones alone. I know every detail of your life. I care about things you would never think to bring before me. Your life is never too complicated for me to carry. The people you love are never too many for me to watch over. Every situation stands before me. Every name rests safely in my hands. I want you to understand what is taking place right now. This very moment was appointed. You are not here by chance. There is no accident in the hands of the God who holds everything together. You arrived at this message at this exact point in your journey because your spirit needed to hear something today. There was a word prepared for this precise moment, and I arranged it. The impossible is becoming certain. That is the word I want you to carry with you. The restoration that looked impossible, the miracle that seemed too great, the change you longed to see in someone you love, the breakthrough that felt beyond reach, it is becoming certain. Because I have placed my hand upon it. Because I have spoken it. Because every word I speak fulfills exactly what I send it to accomplish. You are stepping into an extraordinary season, not an ordinary one. Not simply a slightly better chapter, an extraordinary one, marked by my hand, directed by my attention, filled with clear evidence that causes those watching your life to say, only God could have done this. That is the future before you. That is what I am preparing. As you carry this word into the days ahead, into situations still waiting for answers, into relationships still being restored, into prayers you continue bringing before me, carry this truth deep inside you. I am for you. I have always been for you. I will always remain for you. I go ahead of you and I walk beside you. What once resisted you will begin to give way. What remained closed before will now begin to open. There is nothing waiting in your future that I have not already entered. Nothing ahead is outside my care. Believe this. Live from this truth. Let it become the firm place beneath every uncertain circumstance you face. There is a place inside your heart that has remained locked. Not because you turned away from me, but because you were trying to protect yourself. You closed it after disappointment taught you to stop expecting too much. I know that place. I have waited patiently outside its door, never forcing my way in, simply waiting until you trusted me with what you placed there. Today I ask you to open it. What you hid inside is not too heavy for me. The anger you never spoke, the grief you pushed aside, the dream you quietly buried because continuing to hope became too painful, bring it into my light. I will never reject it. I will never condemn what took you years to admit, even to yourself. I handle fragile hearts with gentleness. What you place into my hands today will never be used against you. I will change it. The very burden you once carried in shame will become part of the testimony I create through your life. Open that room. I am already there, waiting for you with love. There is a place inside your heart that has remained locked. Not because you turned away from me, but because you were trying to protect yourself. You closed it after disappointment taught you to stop expecting too much. I know that place. I have waited patiently outside its door, never forcing my way in, simply waiting until you trusted me with what you placed there. Today I ask you to open it. What you hid inside is not too heavy for me. The anger you never spoke, the grief you pushed aside, the dream you quietly buried because continuing to hope became too painful, bring it into my light. I will never reject it. I will never condemn what took you years to admit, even to yourself. I handle fragile hearts with gentleness. What you place into my hands today will never be used against you. I will change it. The very burden you once carried in shame will become part of the testimony I create through your life. Open that room. I am already there, waiting with love. Your season of the extraordinary has arrived. Declare your yes if you are ready to walk forward into all that I have prepared. We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.